I'll do autoimmune. Hey, we've already got a like. There's our friends from Greek Goes Keto. Hey guys, hey Paula.
Good morning, or whatever time it is there.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm sure there. Yeah, we're just getting set up, starting to share these out. Enjoyed your meatball video today, guys. It was good. We did that recipe the other day, and it was fantastic.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hello, Serena. Very good. Evening time. Yeah, I imagine. That's we tried to find a time that we could hit the most, impact the most people, right? So noon on Sunday is good. So for the West Coast of the United States, that's 9 a.m. Early evening for Europe, right? So this works out, I think, a good time.
Glad to have you join us. It really means a lot to us.
Right. So, hey, if you guys are joining us your first time, make sure you put in new, hi, and tell us where you're from too. And I kind of know where everybody is located.
Hi, Serena.
Yeah, around the world, so we can adjust time as necessary too. We can maybe do more than one broadcast to fit better people's times as well. So this is all good. So we have a pretty big topic today. I mean, I could probably do a video on each one of these myths,
right?
But I figured I would go ahead and just kind of compile them all into one place. So
kind of frustrates me sometimes when I see new people ask questions and they get attacked. It's like,
or they're
run
into a lot of misinformation, and we just want to kind of dispel that.
Yeah.
And if we have people coming to our groups, our pages, we want to try to give the simplest information that we can and try to dispel some of those myths.
And positive feedback too.
Yeah. Hi, Roberta. Roberta just joined us too, I believe. That's also the other half of Greek Goes Keto.
All right.
Hey guys, really appreciate it. We've been pushing you guys a lot too, promoting your stuff as well, because we really appreciate it. Because you guys are our keto foodies.
Yeah, I love
Amazing
it.
Stuff. Hey, Devin. Oh, good to see you too, man. So I don't know. Let's get started. So the big news this week was we both had our
doctor's appointments, and it went really, really well with our rheumatologist and getting our physical for the year. I've never been excited about going to a doctor before, but we were pretty pumped about it.
Pretty weird to be excited about going to the doctor.
Yeah.
But we were. So she is both our primary care doctor and our rheumatologist, because if you don't already know, we both have autoimmune diseases.
Right.
And so when our primary care doctor had to leave the state, it really made sense for us to just kind of use the same doctor for both, because she's, that's the same information. We don't have to, share that information with two different doctors, and she's great.
Or see two different doctors.
See two different doctors. Yeah, she's very supportive. And initially, when we told her we were going to do the keto diet and we had just started, she was like the most supportive person you can ever imagine. Because a lot of rheumatologists are already stressed.
Go do it.
An
it's
autoimmune or anti-inflammatory diet.
Yeah,
right? And so since there's so many parallels, she was all on board with it. And so we went Friday. Friday morning was our appointment. I can't even count the number of times she just said, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
You're blowing my mind here, she said.
Right. I mean, it was just a very good meeting. So she's like, okay, it's not just that you guys have lost weight. It's that all of your risk factors are
going
down tremendously. So in my case, since my last visit, I had lost a little over 50 pounds and 67 total. And she goes, this is the best evidence I've ever seen for a dietary method working for people. Now, on top of that, all of my symptoms also pretty much dissipated. So essentially, she has declared me in remission from my ankylosing spondylitis and rheumatoid arthritis, and I am not on any
blood pressure meds.
Or autoimmune medicines. And she also completely took me off my blood pressure medicine. So last time she had cut it in half. This time she completely removed it.
Said, just stop taking it.
Yeah, you don't need that anymore. And I'm going to still test
He's had to take that since he was in his 20s, and he was stick thin then and healthy and in the Navy. So, now that we're eating better, his labs are coming back so good, and his blood pressure's down for the first time in
30 plus years. Yeah, it's amazing. The other thing is, all that's great. And she says, continue doing that. I'm not so concerned about your weight loss, but the fact that you guys are doing this. But then she also, we took our food list visits, right? And you can find that on our groups and our page, everywhere. And that's our food list, which basically uses the Dr. Westman protocol, which is, eat 20 grams of carbs per day or less, eat fatty meats and vegetables until you're full, and then don't eat when you're not hungry. So the question was, did you make intolerance test? So yes, I've scheduled a fasting insulin test, if that's what you're asking. So I want to know exactly how much I've impacted my hyperinsulinemia. So that is it's a great question. And before we went to this appointment, I binge watched Amy Berger videos, Dr. Stephen Finney videos, just to ask this question, read up on the cholesterol code, all those questions that I could kind of preload and have ready for my doctor, kind of overwhelmed her, and she was excited actually to read all this information. And so, yeah, she's definitely on board. We're doing that test. She also recommended, hey, well, you might as well go to the cardiologist and get your stress test done and see how all that's going too. Let's go ahead and just get your baseline done. And so, okay, cool. We're excited about that too.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Now, in Shauna's case, she did want her to go back on her thyroid medicine. I mean, her numbers were kind of wonky and all that, but she's been feeling so good. But
she called me Superwoman. So
yeah. So
she said she didn't know how I was functioning.
How are you functioning, and how are you losing weight when you have hypothyroidism? I don't understand.
Because your numbers are
a little bit high. Yeah. So she's going to do it, and she's been kind of hovering for a bit at weight. So we're thinking this will probably, break that as well. So she'll actually be able to lose weight at a little bit faster pace again too. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to fall off. But I feel good. I feel great. So
yeah. And if you remember last week, we talked about we were going to go down to 1 cup of coffee a day. We've kind of done that, kind of tweaked it a little bit instead of
drinking black coffee now.
So instead of we have just 1 cup of coffee a day with cream in it, and another cup of coffee a day that's pretty much black. So that's I've never been able to do that before.
Cheers.
Yeah. And I enjoy it, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so
thought I'd do that.
Let's go ahead and break into our topic. The keto sacred cows, those myths that are out there, and we want to bust those myths that are making it harder for people to be on keto, because we want to make this as simple as possible, right? So can you keep on questions while I put notes up? Great. All right, so myth number 1.
I love it.
To lose weight on keto, you must meet and watch all of your macros.
That's what we thought too when we first started.
Okay, caveat number 1.
Yeah.
If you are on therapeutic ketogenic protocol, if you have a traumatic brain injury, or you have epilepsy, or if you have certain cancers, then I would say yes, you need to meet your fat and your protein and your carb macros dead on. But most of the people that are on our sites, our groups, etc., are on here for one of 2 reasons. One is fat loss.
Right.
The second is for autoimmune inflammation. All right. So in order to be in ketosis, it's not how much fat you eat. It's not how much protein you eat. It's how many carbs you don't eat. Right. So again,
what you leave off your plate
what you leave off
is more important than what you have on. I mean, it really is. You got to leave those carbs alone. Push them away.
And Teresa said hi. Teresa, hello.
Good morning, Teresa.
So all the one you have to remember, the 1 macro, and it's not even really a macro, it's an amount, is carbs. So 20 grams per day or less total.
I bet you I don't eat 5 carbs a day.
Most days we don't. And the reason we say total is because, a lot of people will, include those sugar, alcohols, and fiber. But in our mind, a carb is a carb. And if you are kind of giving yourself an extra allowance, you may experience carb creep, which then will slow you down. So it's better to just be honest with yourself and just stay with 20. And by the way, this is Dr. Westman's protocol. He's had 50,000 successful patients. And in his data, which he has a lot of, people that are at 20 grams carbs a day or less total are 100% of the time in ketosis. If you go up to 30, about 75% of the people are. If you go up to 50, 50% of the people are. So wouldn't you rather guarantee that you're in ketosis? Wouldn't you rather guarantee that you're in fat burning mode? All right.
Teresa said, I have an app to help count carbs. It gives you the ability to not count net carbs. That's good.
Yeah. Matter of fact, MyFitnessPal only counts total carbs.
We did keep track of hers at first, but you don't have to.
Right. So that's the thing. So, I mean,
you got to know what.
There's
carbs in your vegetables, so you've got to know what you're eating.
There's no doubt that using an app at first to understand how much fat and carbs and protein are in food is a great process to go through while learning it, right? But after you're adapted, after you're on set, and in some cases, people don't need to do it at all. If they just follow the food list, which is pretty much meat and vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, and leafy greens, you don't need to count anything, because if you eat till you're full, your body knows when it's about right.
Exactly.
It's pretty straightforward that way.
Roberta said something. This is exactly why zero carb is a therapeutic program. Apollonius, as nutrition therapist recommends to people who have problems maintaining and entering ketosis.
That's right. And that's absolutely true. I mean, it's the number of carbs that you don't eat is what gets you into ketosis. Everything else is icing on the cake. Oh, let's not talk about cake.
No.
All right. Myth number 2.
Although our Greek goes keto makes.
Yeah, you guys make some damn good cake.
Damn, that looks good.
It looks great, but yikes. Myth number 2, to lose fat, you need to eat more fat. Does that even make sense to anybody? And then I see it all over the place. I mean, we do follow other Facebook groups because somehow that's how we kind of put our message out there, and we want to help other people out. But I see that so much. I'll see it. Hey, I'm having trouble getting to ketosis. I'm having trouble losing weight. And I'll see it, and something pop up. Well, add more fat. Eat more fat. So let's just think about this logically. Okay, so, and Amy Berger talked about this in a video this week. If you eat excessive fat and carbohydrates especially, your body will first burn the carbohydrates,
right, and
then it will burn that fat, and then whatever fat it doesn't burn,
it's
going to store in your body. So if you're eating so much fat, you can actually gain weight from that. We've actually proved that this week. So we have 3 dogs in our house, and we have them completely on carnivore, right? Our little puppy,
except for our puppy, we need to fatten her up a little bit.
But so we have tested this out. When we add more fat to their diet, they actually gain weight. I mean, it's a go, no-go test. It's a beautiful thing. Our puppy needs to gain weight, so we are taking the fat that's melting off and adding it to her food, and she is gaining the weight that she needs. And that's just exactly what we are looking to achieve.
Finally putting some more fat on, but because we're giving her more fat.
We're giving her more fat, right? And so that's the thing. We don't want to add excessive fat. I mean, you can, again, if you're just first starting out, it might be good to help you get adapted, right? To get the calories that you need to keep from going maybe into carb crash after you're changing over from a sugar burner diet to a fat burning diet. But after you get adapted, you don't need to keep adding additional fat. You don't need the MCT oil. You don't need to add extra butter. You don't need to add extra heavy whipping cream. The times that we do add the heavy whipping cream and the butter is because we enjoy the taste of it. So we might add it twice a week into our coffee. We might cook in butter. We might add heavy whipping cream to our mashed cauliflower to make it taste better. But to purposely add that to add fat is counterintuitive and will make you delay your weight loss. And if that's important to you, if you want to lose weight, don't
You want
do
it
that.
to burn your own fat.
Correct.
Roberta said today we made 0 carb meatballs.
I saw that.
Your video just looked divine, and they looked so delicious.
Mm.
They were really good when I made them.
Yeah. You guys, if you want to share that on our site today, go ahead and do that. Your live video you did today, go ahead and please do that so people can watch it. They don't have to look for it.
And Teresa said, "Oh, those meatballs look divine."
Yeah, we made them
Need to
last
find
week.
a
They were
place
great.
to find that goat cheese and butter.
Goat cheese you can get at Aldi, and feta cheese is it too. Goat butter, and that's a tough one.
Yeah,
Goat butter is a tough one here in the United
have to
States.
find a farmer.
You might have to, yeah. Teresa, you're in Missouri. You got farms around. You might be able to find.
Yeah,
that
you
easier than
probably
we
can
can here.
find it easier than we can for sure.
Mhm. All right, so that's that one. Myth number 3, and this one is a big one for a lot of people. And I wrote a post about this week, but it is, to do keto, you must fast. Disclaimer, I'm not against intermittent fasting. I think it's just fine for some people, but it does not meet the protocol that we are talking about here, right? And that protocol, once again, is eat 20 grams of carbs a day or less, eat fatty meats and vegetables until you're full, and don't eat when you're not hungry. Now, that last part, don't eat when you're not hungry, sometimes translates into what people will call an intermittent fast, because we will often go 16, 18 hours a day or time without eating, but we are not trying to fast. It's not in our mind that we say, oh, we have to fast.
Because I don't want the newbies that are just starting the keto diet to get
pressured.
Yeah, pressured into doing these fasts, and then they go, "Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm just going to grab whatever."
Yeah, if I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm hungry, I'm seriously hungry, I need fuel, I'm going to eat.
These people need to eat.
I don't need to be
Adjust
punishing
for-
myself if I eat early in the morning. There are times you need to eat more than other times. Your body will tell you, hey, I'm hungry, I need fuel. And if you treat food as fuel, then that will work for you.
And don't go by the clock.
Yeah.
Don't go by, we're supposed
It's
to eat
breakfast
every
o'clock.
time.
It's lunchtime. Just
Listen to yourself. Listen to your body.
Wait until you're hungry. It's the easiest thing you can possibly do after you're fat adapted. Now, I guarantee you, if you're first starting out in this process, that you will, have a little bit of struggle and you're going to be a little bit hungrier. So, okay, fine. Eat until you're full and then don't eat when you're not hungry. Make sure you're eating those right things within a few days. And I'm sure there's people on here that can, testify to this fact, that they are amazed that it actually works. And it does. All right, so how are we doing? Any more questions?
Yep, she's just mentioning that they have a Aldi over there.
Yep, Aldi's great. Matter of fact, we went to Aldi yesterday.
Maybe they have their own version.
No, Aldi's there. Aldi started off in Europe.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. I thought it was Canadian.
No, they started off in Europe. They're part of the same company as Trader Joe's, as a matter of
That's
fact.
awesome.
Yeah. Same family owns both. The thing is, what was we talking about? Eating more fat or fasting?
Yeah, fasting.
I lost
Intermittent
track.
fasting.
Intermittent fasting. I lost track of where I
Sorry.
was going. That's all right. Yeah. So, we went to Aldi yesterday, and we were just kind of going in there for a couple of things, and they had such great prices on roasts and meats and things like that. That we went ahead, and even though we didn't need them, I went ahead and stocked up anyway, because it's a beautiful thing. So one day when we do get hungry again,
Yeah.
we can just go fry up a ribeye or whatever we found at Aldi. Aldi's fantastic for that. Myth number 4. In order to be successful on keto, you need to buy special products and foods.
Aldi's German.
It's German. Yeah, I know it's a European thing, so that's great. You have to buy special products or foods. So exogenous ketones is one that people will push. MCT oils, probiotics, supplements. Now, I'm going to say, if you have a deficiency in magnesium or salt or calcium, then go ahead and treat that with a supplement or with food that you need that has those things in it. But you do not need any supplement or any ketone that you take externally to be successful.
Right.
Again,
Somebody tells you need to buy something in order to be successful. Don't. Just
are they
walk
trying
away.
to sell you something? That's what I wonder. Now, again, I'll say, if you are on therapeutic need for ketosis, those exogenous ketones might be exactly what you need. But if you are trying for fat loss, then you want your own body to make those ketones, right? You want to be able to take in what you're creating and burn that so that you can burn the fat and get healthier. Oh yeah, I want to say one more thing about fasting is that, by the way, the ketogenic diet and the carnivore diet both are fasting mimicking diets, right? So what they do is the benefits that you get from fasting, one would be lowering your blood glucose. The other would be autophagy, are both things that happen just from going on keto and from the carnivore diets. So you don't necessarily have to go all the way for a multi-day fast or even an intermittent fast to get the benefits of fasting. All right, so products.
Yeah, Teresa said, I can't do MCT oil. I did it wrong, but it made my tummy very angry. Yeah, a lot of people have sensitivities to the MCT oil. I did too at first, and you don't need it.
Yeah, we don't need it. Sometimes, it's nice. But yeah, and Roberta says industrial supplements are usually so overprocessed and with harmful additives.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. And, they're trying to make them as cheaply as they can, make as much profit off of them as they can. Is your health their priority? Probably not. I would say definitely they're going to worry about how much they can make, how much volume they can make, and sell it for as cheap as they can. And even there's studies that just that don't support that supplements are that beneficial anyway. Magnesium did seem to help Shauna when she was having some cramps, so that slow release magnesium. Okay. There's other things you can do.
I was having some bad leg cramps that would wake me up at night, and I took it for a little bit. Yeah. I take it when I need it once in a while. One
thing we also did was we drank a little bit of Powerade Zero. On some groups will go, oh my goodness, it's got sweetener in it. You know what? It helped Shauna. It helped her feel better, just a swallow of it. So, I mean, it's not going to knock you out of ketosis, et cetera. But it's just something that you might try in that respect. Hey, Rosa Shook joined. Hi, Rosa. Good to see you this morning. It is morning where you're at. You're in Texas.
You're right. Coconut oil has the MCT or sheep butter.
Yeah. Those are great. And they taste good, right?
Yeah.
So, woohoo.
And they don't upset your stomach.
So the next one is if it fits your macros. This is, you'll see abbreviated as IIFYM, if it fits your macros. And I think this one I fall under the category of keto junk food. So people will say, well, I just went and got this Quest bar, this Quest cookie, and it has the right macros for me to stay in ketosis. And, technically you might be right.
You might be right.
You might be right. But I will also say that those probably have some ingredients in them
that you shouldn't be consuming.
That are not great for your body, right? Soybean oils, all the seed oils that may be in there. Some of them have flours that are not great for you that cause inflammation.
They're just tacking the name of keto on junk food, and
it might have actual sugar in them or high fructose corn syrup, things that even though they're technically going to fit under your macro range, will probably not help you. Right? They're probably going to delay your progress. So try to stick with those healthy foods, that are on our food list. The fatty meats and vegetables. If those are your core. Having an occasional maybe sweetener in your coffee is not going to kill you. But if you're going out and buying a specially made product that's usually extremely expensive, those keto Quest bars are outrageously expensive. I just can't fathom having a snack food around that's that expensive. That is really not beneficial to you, right? So if you can make stuff at home, do it. Our folks at Great Goats Keto, they have a lot of recipes that are, freaking decadent that you can make. Or if you try simpler things like we try, because we don't bake a lot. We try to make simple things.
I'm not a baker.
But we're so satisfied with red meat and even some chicken sometimes.
Say yes to meat.
So yes to meat. Because that's the Great Goats Keto. They started all this. Yes to meat stuff. Thanks, guys. And we're right on board with it.
Yes to meat.
Just kind of as a tangent, their Lancet came out with a recommendation this year on a sustainable diet that is basically almost no meat. And so it's kind of an authoritarian type thing. They would love to tax meat and make it so only the rich people can eat meat. So we're trying to
we're
pushing back on that, right?
So we're forced to just eat vegetables. It's horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some
Rosa
questions?
said homemade is better, and Roberta said bravo to Yes's meat, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep, fat bombs are great. We do keep those around sometimes. Like we'll make them out of heavy whipping cream and some cocoa and something like that, just to keep in the freezer. So we do get that little sweet craving. For us, that works. We just have one little tiny one. It works good. So the keto junk food, yeah, I would just say you're better off without.
Rosa said easy fat bombs save me when I need something. Yeah, they saved us too. I make little
so if you see, if it fits your macros, just think, what is your overall best for you, right? What are your goals? Are you trying to lose weight? Another thing is a lot of those things are inflammatory. So if you're joining us here from our Keto for Autoimmune Diseases group, you know that a lot of those things are going to make you feel terrible, right? So don't go there. Stay with the things that are good for you, that help you.
Yeah, I felt horrible for 30 years. So
right.
I don't want to go back.
Here's my comparison. Think of it as if you had a peanut allergy. Does it make sense? Well, it fits my macros so I can eat these peanuts, but yet you have a terrible reaction to it. Is that really such a great idea? And that's a lot of what we do. Matter of fact, our kind of policy is we do keto like our life depends on it, because it probably does. Right. So that's the way we handle that. The next myth, and this is kind of interesting. It's you must have massive amounts of fiber to be healthy. So last year, I think it's really kicked off this carnivore movement, which people are not eating any vegetables at all. They're eating almost no fiber, and we eat not many vegetables. We might go 3 or 4 days a week where we don't eat any vegetables either. And Shauna,
becoming more and more carnivore.
Shauna has had IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. She's had diverticulosis. And
endometriosis.
All those things that were probably caused by her gut, the microbiome in her gut, from eating all those fibers. And those fibers are, there's microorganisms in there. They feast on that and the sugars. They cause gas. They cause irritation. And so what we found is by removing those things from our diet, it is healing to your gut, and those bowel system problems, those digestive issues vanish. Yeah, right. And a lot of people have found that. So
I know what to avoid for sure now.
Fiber in our diet is a myth. Does it give you lots of volume to poop out? Indeed it does. But is it good things? I mean, how much waste are you getting rid of your body? How many other nutrients are you also excluding or excreting from your body as you do that? So the one thing about eating meat, it never even makes it to your colon. So you digest it in your smaller intestine, before it even gets to your colon. It stays in your body. We don't. I mean, here we are talking about poop on video. I'm sorry, but you poop less. You keep more of the nutrients in.
But it's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just
something we have to discuss. It's life.
Mm-hmm.
Roberta said keto is for life, not just for the period of weight loss. Both of us are at our ideal weight, which we can definitely tell. You're a very good-looking couple, and we are not quitting or cheating. It's a healthy lifestyle. We feel the same way. Once I make my goal weight, I'm just going to continue. And other people that we follow are doing the same. They've lost their weight and they're feeling great.
And they're maintaining.
Why go back?
Yeah, I saw somebody post the other day on Twitter saying, well, if you go back to the way you're eating and you gain your weight, that must mean that keto is a fad diet. And my response was, if you eat like a moron and you gain weight, you might be a moron. Because the thing is, of course you're going to gain weight when you eat that way, the standard American diet. Maybe that's because you're treating it as a diet. He didn't respond to that, by the way. I don't know if maybe I made him mad or
yeah.
It was actually one of my followers on Twitter, but I just can't go along with that. Fad diet is the standard American diet. That's only been around for 60 years or so.
Yeah. Roberta said maybe I should go at least 40 days of carnivore.
It's up to you.
I'm trying. I love my vegetables. It's hard, but you're probably right. I probably should, and I'm slowly working that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working that way.
Yeah, and I'll say this: if we can have a large stall or something like that, that's one tweak we can do very easily, right? We can just eat all meat. I don't have a problem with that. The one thing that we had some cauliflower this week and just smothered in Frank's hot wing sauce.
It was good.
It was so good. So I mean, but very little vegetables. That was just what we had. It was just basically the cauliflower was a carrier for the hot sauce.
True. That was good.
The next myth number 7 is you must severely limit calories on keto.
Yeah, I was just seeing somebody really get on, a new person in one of the other groups, about, oh, you have to limit your calories. You got to do this. You need to do it this way. These are new people, and you don't want them to be dissatisfied with this lifestyle. Don't worry about limiting your calories so much.
Yeah, the one thing that I'll say is it's a recipe for failure. Just like with
it can be.
Most diets, right, are all about calorie limitation, about deprivation. And the ketogenic way of eating, the carnivore way of eating, also should never be about being deprived.
Right.
You should always eat fatty meats, and if you're keto, vegetables, until you're full. And then you don't ever feel deprived, right? So, and this is a self-regulating way of eating. So if you're eating the right things, protein will talk to your leptins and will say, oh, I'm full. And it will make you less leptin resistant. Leptin is a hormone in your body that tells you when you are satiated. When you're eating sugars, it overrides that satiation feeling. So you don't need to be doing that. Eat the foods that you should be doing, the proteins, the vegetables,
and the fatty meats.
The fatty meats that will not interfere with that signal. And by its very nature, you will then regulate your calories by themselves. If you think about it in our case, so we eat a lot of red meat, a lot of ground beef, and maybe some steak, some lamb. But the 75-25 ground beef that we love, 1 pound of it is 1,500 calories. I have a hard time eating more than that, right, in a day.
Half.
Right? So
definitely eat half of what
that
you
by
eat.
Itself tells me, I mean, if I were to go to MyFitnessPal, it would tell me I would need to eat 1,650 calories, I think.
Yeah, I can no longer make my calories.
To lose 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds a week, and I can't get there. So, but if I were to go and try to count grains and rice and corn and things like that, my body would always be hungry, and I would never be able to get under my calories, or it would be a struggle to do so, and I always feel wanting. Right?
That's the problem with those carbs. Those carby foods make you more hungry.
Sugar burners struggle, and I actually feel very sorry for them. I feel for them because they don't know why they struggle, right? And so this is a definitely a change in lifestyle for people that we hope more people will adopt and and do.
I want to help other people feel better. For sure.
All right, so that was the limit your calories to be successful on keto. And now here's the other side of the equation, and that is calories don't matter on keto. And same thing, right? If you're eating the right foods, your body will self-regulate. If you're eating a bunch of keto junk foods, if you're drinking a bunch of protein shakes, if you are doing those things, you are overriding your satiation sensation, and guess what? You will eat too many calories.
Mm-hmm. Then you're going to consume too much.
And then you will either stop losing weight, or you might even actually gain weight. And so just keep that in mind. You need to be aware, but you don't need to be consumed by how many calories you eat per day. All right. So far, any questions, guys, so far we have on these? Any burning questions that are sticking out that you might have about these? Because we're covering a lot of material here, I know, and I don't want to miss anything. And things kind of fly by sometimes. Yeah. All right. Myth number 9. Vigorous exercise is a must for success on keto. And we had something happen last week or a week ago remember Jillian Michaels?
Yeah.
Came out and dissing keto. And what's her whole methodology, right? She burnt people to the ground by having them exercise 8 hours a day and, oh, by the way, minimize their calories. She follows the calorie in, calorie out methodology.
Right.
And it sparked a whole new study called the Biggest Loser Study, which was
interesting stuff. You need to go look it up.
Look that up, and they found out that by vigorously exercising, you destroy your metabolism by slowing down your at-rest metabolism. So these poor folks,
people's metabolism slowed way down.
Were killing themselves to lose weight, and she was bullying the heck out of them. And it come to find out their metabolism slowed down to they had to eat 800 calories a day less than the average person their size in order to not lose weight, but to maintain their weight. And guess what? Their weight just started creeping back up, and they actually ended up gaining more weight than they had. They were heavier than when they started in 90% of the cases. So vigorous exercise can actually be a detriment to you. Now, I'm not saying don't exercise, because we do exercise.
Yeah.
But
maybe
two or three times a week, we'll do. Our method is the high intensity interval exercise. And so we'll go exercise 3 times a week. It may be a little bit of weight training, 20 minutes a day, but only 2 minutes of those 20 minutes are intense.
Right.
The rest is we're letting our heart rate go up and down, and we actually enjoy doing it. We don't dread going to the gym.
Right. We have fun doing it.
And
it should never be a chore, because then you're not going to do it. You're going to end up falling off anyways. So, but I've lost weight before we started doing the high intensity workouts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, during the holidays, we missed all of our workouts because we were busy and things were going on.
We were walking the dogs.
We walk our dogs. We still walk all the time. But I lost 10 pounds over Christmas. I've lost 10 pounds since Christmas. 5. So, exercise does not make you lose weight. It helps you tighten up the areas that you need to tighten up. But, And Rosa said, yep. It stalls out her weight loss. We found the same. And just back off on it.
Listen to your body, Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Just back off on it and do it to makes you feel good. Exercise makes you feel good about yourself. Never as a punitive, kind of like fasting. Don't do anything.
We do it because we enjoy it. So.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Weird.
Myth number 10, and that is keto is a rapid weight loss diet. Now this one hurts people in a lot of ways because everybody loses weight at their own pace.
Yeah. You end up comparing yourself to Joe over here. He's lost 55 pounds right away, and you've only lost 20 pounds.
Right.
You've lost 20 pounds. That's a great effort. Great job. I mean, your body, your metabolism, don't worry about it later.
Right.
Your metabolism may be different than Joe's, if you're a woman especially.
Now, plus, keto is not a weight loss diet at all. It's a fat loss diet, right? And so what you'll find is you don't necessarily move the scale right away. You're burning fat in more places than just around your gut. You're also burning it in your liver and in your pancreas. And when you're losing that weight, you don't necessarily move the scale. You will initially, a lot of people will lose water weight, and that kind of is what's called swoosh effect. So you will lose that weight immediately. A lot of people, some don't, but don't be confused with that. That's just part of the process. The carbs hold on to that water. But the ultimate goal is to become fat adapted, right? By becoming fat adapted, the long-term weight loss is great and it's sustainable. Whereas other weight loss methods, you limit your calories, you exercise real hard, you lose weight initially, but then the curve looks like this, right? With the ketogenic way of eating, it looks like this, but it's still kind of trends down, but it's a tortured path to get there, right? But it stays down.
Don't let him fool you. His is like this, and mine's like.
But I'm a man. I'm lucky, right? So that's kind of.
And I have hypothyroidism.
So I've got a lot of advantages that women don't, and so I don't try to, make people feel bad that way. Just I'm a man. That's how it goes. Also, I was able to get off a lot of my medicines that were probably holding me back too. Like I was on Humira, which that causes weight gain or holding on to weight. When I was able to get off that, I think that really accelerated my weight loss. Not everybody can do that. If you have autoimmune diseases, I'm not telling you to get off your medicines. Please don't mistake that. Work with your doctor. Yeah. I was only able to get off it for 2 reasons. One, I was having bad side effects from my Humira after I got on keto. right? And two, once I got off it, I stopped. I noticed I wasn't in pain. So there was no reason to get back on it. And then so again, she said, hey, looks like you're in remission. So woohoo! I'm happy with that, right?
She checked us over really good.
Yeah, it was a good physical.
She was really happy.
All right. The next myth, this one drives me nuts. And that is, in order to be sustainable, you need to plan cheat days on keto. Or another version of this is, hey, if you stall, you need to carb cycle. All right, so let's talk about a minute about our metabolism here. And Ivor Cummings, I don't know if you've heard of him or not. He's an engineer who kind of went and looked at the data, and he talked about how inflammation is causing a lot of our chronic diseases, including type 2 diabetes, including heart disease. And as we modify our metabolism, we get used to not having carbs in our diet. And if you go out and have a piece of cake or a pizza, there is a thing that people will call the pizza hangover. And his theory is that your body is no longer adapted to it, and you're kind of screwing with your metabolism.
Right.
Is that a good idea?
You don't want to go back and forth. It's
yeah. So, I mean, if
Not
you do that too much,
though.
and if you've already been through the keto flu to get to where you are, you might have to go through that again. No, thank you. No, I think I'll stay consistent and continue what I'm doing. Another thing about that carb cycling, people forget that changing the scale does not happen because of what you did yesterday, right? So if somebody said, ooh, I ate more carbs yesterday and I lost a pound, ooh, it must have been because I ate my carbs yesterday. I've seen that a million times on Facebook.
Oh, I know.
Drives me
And
nuts.
it's telling other people, go ahead and cheat because it might help you.
Right. Yeah. And we don't allow cheat posts on either of our groups, by the way. And the reason for that is because
it's just a lifestyle. It's not
to me, what it does is people will share their cheat posts and share what they're doing because it helps justify what they're doing. It helps them feel good about their lack of discipline or their bad decision making, right? We aren't going for that. No. What you did yesterday or you did today does not impact what the scale says tomorrow. It is a longer term process. I mean, on a regular basis, just from water retention and just normal things, you can gain or lose 5 pounds of weight in one day, no matter what you do. So if you lose 1 pound and you ate some more carbs yesterday, do you really think that was the reason? I mean, to me, I'll call that what it is, superstition. So let's just nip that in the bud right now. You don't
mess with your liver. You're going back and forth, and your liver has to readjust and everything. Mm-hmm. And I've had the keto flu. It's not something I want back.
Right. And I will also tell you this.
I feel better when there's something in front of me and I could cheat, mm-hmm. and I decide not to, because I've overcome that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yesterday we went to breakfast at a really good breakfast restaurant here in town, and so we ordered skillets, right? And both of those had potatoes in the bottom of them, and she had the huevos rancheros. Yeah. Which is with pork and green sauce, delicious. And I had mine was the ultimate, which was lots of bacon and ham and sausage and eggs on top of it. But we ate all of it and then left the potatoes on the bottom, right?
And our
waitress said, "Would you like a box for that?" And we're like, "No, we just don't eat potatoes." And she goes, "Well, hey, next time just ask for not potatoes. We'll throw more veggies on there for you." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, okay. We'll do it." But
more meat on them.
How good does it feel to have something on your plate that you used to love and you no longer need? And you can feel that victory of like,
yes,
I didn't need it. It didn't, it's not the boss of me. It doesn't control me.
Yes,
I own that.
Go keto with Casey. Yeah. He says, food is not the boss of me.
That is a huge endorphin to me that I can feel good about a victory that way. Because potatoes used to be a downfall for me. I know they were for Sean.
Yeah. And huge.
We did great. And so to me, that is so much more satisfying than trying to be sustainable by having cheat days. Also, I will say this too, and I'm sure other people here can qualify this as well. The less carbs I eat, the easier this whole thing is for me. Right. So the days that I go carnivore and don't eat any vegetables, even almost no carbs, there are less cravings, right? So if there are a day, if I were to have a little bit more carbs, I might feel just 20 more craving, and I might have to go eat a sweet fat bomb to like stay out of trouble. So just keep that in mind. And I will say it's the opposite.
We have quite a few comments from our little discussion. So
yeah, go ahead and back and read some of those.
okay. Rosa, of course, said about the working out stalls out my weight loss. And then Teresa said, my doctor took me off of Glimpride? What is Glimpride? Glimpride?
Is that a diabetic medicine? Maybe?
I don't know. And then Apollo said, I had IBS. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
IBS is horrible, horrible thing. And he said, carnivore is the way to go. Mm-hmm. I will give it a try then.
Mm-hmm.
I will. Rosa said, yes, agree. A cheat meal are bad, and people who do them are being weak and ruining the whole keto process. That's right. What they're doing is just
sabotaging themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cheating themselves out on a victory, for sure. And
Paula says keto is like marriage. It doesn't work if you cheat. That's right.
That's right. That's right. I'm happily married.
32 years of not cheating here. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And long life by not cheating as well.
Oh, the meds that they took her off of are diabetes meds. Yes, Teresa. Congrats on that. That is awesome. Wow. How much have you lost already, lady? That's fantastic.
And even if you haven't lost anything, the fact that
you're getting healthier. Keto is amazing. It heals the body. I've seen so much on my part. I've seen my husband doing better. And high blood pressure and diabetes and rheumatoid arthritis. It's just fantastic. We just feel so much better.
Right. And I want to trademark this statement, if I could, is that weight loss is a lagging indicator of improving health. And that's the case. So remember, your first priority is to improve your health. Weight loss will follow.
That's right. And you'll feel so much better.
Third generation diabetic, same here. My grandmother was a type 1 diabetic. My mom was a type 2. And she had humongous numbers in her. I wish she had tracked it better. I wish we had known then.
I wish we had known about keto then
Mm-hmm.
I would have cooked her meals for her even.
She was a good cook. That didn't help.
Oh, your mom was, his mom was wonderful. I wish she was still around.
All right. Here's the next myth. And this one is, I'm probably going to do a whole video on it because it's a lot more technical than I can just cover here in a few minutes. But this one is excessive protein will knock you out of ketosis. So for our carnivore friends, what do you think? Are you guys not fat adapted anymore because you're eating 2 pounds of ribeye a day? I would say au contraire, mon frère. They are doing just wonderful. The other thing is if you're chasing a meter reading, a number on a ketosis meter, you are chasing the wrong thing. You need to be chasing results, not a number on a meter, not even a number on a scale. But it is, so basically, especially if you follow the method that we're talking about, you eating fatty meats until you're full every day, that fatty meat will satiate you to a point
it really does,
where you cannot possibly overeat protein. The other thing about protein is it possible that it gets changed into glucose? Yes. But as it turns out, it's on demand. It's when your body needs glucose. So the whole concept of, and this is Amy Berger's statement here, of your ribeye being magically transformed into an angel food cake is silly. It just doesn't happen. If you eat too much ribeye, it's going to be an angel food cake and it's going to knock you out of ketosis. Let's talk about what your protein needs are. And again, that's why this needs this whole video. You need for your body, your fit, lean mass, which way I interpret it is what your ideal weight is. So I'm 5'9". My ideal weight is about 152 pounds. So for your fit lean mass, it's 0.8 grams of protein for every pound. So that's what, about 125 grams of protein that I need. 1 pound of ground beef has 65 grams of protein.
Right. So I don't think you can make
I'm not.
it.
How
Nowhere
can't
near it.
overeat that? Okay, even if I were to overeat my protein. So say I ate 130 grams of protein a day, which is that'd be tough. Only 40% of your protein gets then over the top of that, right? So after I get to 130 or whatever it is, after that, only 40% of the excess can even be converted to glucose. So, I mean, it is nearly impossible to knock yourself out of ketosis with a normal way of eating protein. Now, I will give you one exception. If you're drinking protein shakes,
Yeah.
something that was going to override that satiation feeling, I'd say you could probably do it. But maybe that's a good reason not to do keto junk food and keto shakes, right? It's a recipe for failure as well.
Rosa says, laugh out loud. I crave meat, and I didn't used to ever want to eat it before keto. I was the same way. It's amazing. And Paulo said, "En contraire,
Au contraire, mon frère. Mes compétents." Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, you Trekkie.
You say it better than I do.
Oh, yeah.
Say it better.
All right. So that.
Yeah, Trekkie. I like Trekkies. I'm a big fan.
By the way, one thing, you always have to have at least 5 grams of glucose in your blood at all times for your brain. So that's why I say it's on demand. If you are eating like almost no carbs, you're not putting any glucose in your body. So your body has to say, oh, hey, protein, give me all the glucose. Oh, one more thing. Do you know what else can create glucose in your body? Fat. So if you're eating excessive fat or you need fat and you need glucose, your body can just as easily turn fat into glucose as it can protein. So I want to just put to bed this whole myth about eating too much protein will knock you out of ketosis. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
All right. Wow. So guys, thanks again. So let's a keto Trekkie group. I love it, Roberta. I think it's a great idea.
That would be fun. Okay.
And
get on it, guys. You guys are good.
For your hubby, we'll do a Star Wars keto group too, right?
Yeah.
So I know he likes to wear his Star Wars shirts, and
yeah,
that's all right. Hey, I don't look like
both.
I don't look like Jabba the Hutt anymore. Does that count? All right. So again, I want
my hair up in buns.
I want to really give my appreciation to you guys for giving us your time on a Sunday.
Thank you.
Remember to join our groups: Keto for Autoimmune Diseases, Keto Mojo Go-Go. I think I'm going to change that one name to Keto Mojo Go-Go Support Group here soon, so it's differentiated from our page. Join those. One of the other things, a lot of this misinformation we see out there is on the first things you search for keto on YouTube. So do me a favor, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Keto Mojo Go-Go YouTube channel. This video will be out there after I get done editing it. And
William joined us. I don't know if you saw that.
Hello, William. So really, we want good information to be out there, and we want our stuff to kind of get noticed out there as well as often as the misinformation does. So please join our group. Tell other people about our YouTube channel as well. Watch those videos, like them, share them, because we really want to not only do we want people to be healthy and follow a ketogenic way of eating, we want them to have good information, right? We want them to not fall into the traps that the Kardashian ketos give them that are out there that will tell them to buy these products, and that you're not doing it right if you're not buying exogenous ketones. I
don't want to see people fall off of keto because they're getting frustrated and think they have to do all this other stuff and buy all this stuff. I want to see people be supported of each other. Did you hear the door? The door?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up. And thanks again. We're doing this every Sunday at 12 o'clock Eastern. And we love you guys. You are our family, and we much appreciate you. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. You can have the rest of it back.
That's the wind.
And we will chat with you very soon. Keto Mojo Go-Go out.
Thank you. Bye.